All right, look, it's almost summer. It's almost summer in 2025, and this year may be the last opportunity. No, heck, right now may be the last opportunity you get to get into altcoins, to get into crypto, and actually make massive wealth. I'm not joking. I'm not being cute here. This actually may be your final chance to make massive wealth. If you're getting in later on, if you're getting in summer, maybe a little bit after summer, yes, you can still make good gains, but massive wealth right now before summer or beginning summer. So what I'm gonna do in this video, I'm gonna go through some altcoins, my favorite altcoins or my biggest bets, so to speak, so you can actually make massive wealth. Now, of course, I might get some of these wrong, but the way I'm structuring the portfolio so we can have the best chance to succeed. And look, I'm not gonna edit this video. I'm not gonna do any super transitions or anything like that. I'm just gonna do a one take, get straight to the point, because I really think and I really believe this is important. So let's get straight to it and let's talk. All right, so look, here I am at Crypto Bubbles, and these are some of the coins I'm holding. There's different categories I have over here, so this is not all them, so make sure you pay attention. And I'm not talking about all these coins, so don't just screenshot this and just say, okay, these are the coins that the Crypto Factor is talking about. No, we're gonna go through them a little bit because I actually have a basis. I'm gonna give you the best ones, or the ones I think will perform best, or at least structured best in a crypto portfolio. So you can also do your own research and see if you wanna get in some of them as well. Now, keep in mind, I believe before we actually start here, I believe that AI, along with RWA and gaming later on in the bull market, will actually have most profits. If you remember, I was the first to call AI. In the last cycle, I said that this cycle will be driven by AI. And when everybody was talking about gaming, I was saying AI is going to be the main narrative. And from what we see, that's what's going on. And I also said towards the end of the bull market, towards the final stages, that's when we're gonna see RWA and the gaming actually start to take off. And what do you know? RWA started taking off, gaming not yet, but I do believe that's to come, and I think there's massive gains to be made there, and those coins are actually very low right now because everybody's concentrating on AI. And even though AI is gonna go up significantly, these coins have a lot going for them. So let's just start, okay? Let's just start with the main coins you should be holding. Because if you're watching this video in the summer or after the summer, or if you're new to crypto, you might want to get into some basic coins. So let me just go through the basic coins and also their ecosystem, if that makes sense, on some of these picks. So look, first of all, if you're new, get Bitcoin. And of course you're gonna get Bitcoin. Everybody was saying, oh my God, Bitcoin's not gonna do a 2-3x and then they're gonna make money. And look at this, it's now at 107,000, went all the way to 112,000. And as long as this bull market continues, which I believe it will, Bitcoin's gonna do very well. Now you might say, Paul, why should I be holding Bitcoin? You should be holding Bitcoin regardless. Half of your portfolio should be in Bitcoin because it's very simple. If your altcoins over here go to crap, go to zero, at least the Bitcoin, even at a 2x or 1.5x, you do the math, can get you your money back. So it's kind of a guarantee. Plus, when Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down even lower, and you can actually use Bitcoin to buy those dips. I explain all about this strategy in portfolio vids. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'll leave a link in the description down below on how to create the perfect portfolio so you can understand. I'll give you some myth busting tips as well. I'll leave the link below, but right now let's concentrate. But Bitcoin should be in your portfolio. If anything, even if it's at the top and everything else goes to crap, in the next bull market, you'll actually make your money back or some of those gains back, if that makes sense, okay? So Bitcoin should be in your portfolio. And obviously Ethereum, I was saying that the bull market's not gonna go anywhere without Ethereum. Towards the end, we're gonna have a pump, and look at this, we're pumping with Ethereum as well. So Ethereum also doing extremely well, and Solana, which is where all the action is right now, or has been up to now, this is a must-have in your portfolio, right? So you have Solana, we called it $2, told you to get back in at $8.5, and now at 170, and I do believe that Solana can go all the way to $500 to $700, if we're lucky $900 to $1,000 this bull market. So not too shabby. You can still make great gains on Solana here. I do believe Ethereum will go to $8,000 to $10,000 by the end of the bull market as well. And Bitcoin, I'm still looking at $120,000 to $140,000. I said by the end of 2024, beginning 2025, we got that. I'm still keeping that thesis, 120, 140. If we break 140, then basically Bitcoin can go all the way up to 180. But rest assured, I'll be taking profits at 140 up, maybe even a little bit before. So you have your main cryptocurrencies here. And again, if you're new, you want to get into some sort of AI coins as well. AI Oz, very good coin. This should be part of your crypto portfolio, whether you're new or not, to be quite honest with you, because you do want to take a little bit more risk for potential higher gains. And then for gaming, maybe you get something like Beam, because Beam is gaming and AI, so it actually covers both narratives. Now, for the juicy part, okay, let's get to the juicy part where I think the biggest winners are gonna be and where I believe you should be getting in, okay? So, Sui here, I think is gonna do a Solana type move. We actually called Sui early. We called Sui when everybody was betting against it. Other people were saying Say, other people were saying, what was that, Aptos, but basically Sui beat them. And Sui are doing great things. They're working on a lot of stuff. They're fast. They just made their hub in Athens. I actually went and saw them, and it just goes, it just completely by luck, their community manager is actually a childhood friend of mine. I used to have a nightclub. We used to actually chill out there, and I actually know him very well. And I also heard that Miston Labs is here. I'm going to start interviewing them, showing them the office. But I was calling Sui before I even knew this, right? And now that let's just say I know they're doing big things, and I am betting big on Sui. I think Sui is going to make a Solana type move. As a matter of fact, it's one of my biggest holdings in my crypto portfolio other than Bitcoin. It's actually Sui. I'm betting big on Sui and its ecosystem. Now, right now, it took a bit of a dive. We had that hack with Cetus and so on, so it might actually be an opportunity to get into Sui right now and also some ecosystem coins. So let's have a look at what you can get into here. And one of them is Walrus. Took a hit over here, down 7.8 on the monthly. As you can see, it's down right now, but I do believe that Walrus can actually do extremely well. Maybe it comes down a little bit more over here, find support, but I do believe it's a good entry. And basically, this can actually make a big difference. Let's just go back to crypto bubbles over here. So Walrus is one of them. The other one is Deepbook, also doing well. Not so well on the monthly again, but also at a discount right now, in my opinion. So when it comes to Sui and its ecosystem, those are the ones I'm betting on. Those are the top dogs. I also hold some oh my God, I can't remember what it's called. The AI agent coin that, come on, help me out here, help me out. I can't believe this. Guess I have to edit this part because I have to search for the coin. Give me a second. SuAI, that's the coin I was looking for here. So SuAI, it's a bigger bet, it's more of a degen play, but it can give you massive gains if it takes off. But please be careful there. You want to be mostly in these other coins like Sui, Deepbook, and Walrus, because they're actually safer, in my opinion, a safer play, and they can still make crazy gains. Now, a few more coins to look at here. One is Cow. I do believe Cow is going to do very well. There is a narrative for DEXs and swaps, and I do believe that the Trump administration in America is actually going to favor these, so holding at least Cow, maybe holding a little bit of Uniswap as well. They're doing Unilayer, but at least holding one DEX like Cow, I think is paramount for your crypto portfolio. Moving on. Let's talk a little bit about more AI plays over here, because AI is extremely important. And this video is going to be a bit all over the place because I have to come down here to my other positions to actually show you a few more. Hyperledger, by the way, Hype must have in your crypto portfolio, in my opinion. I know it's high over here, but look at the performance. It's actually performing very well, even when everything else is red. And I do believe that Hype should be in your crypto portfolio. Now, I did make a mistake, full transparency. I think it was Vapor. I put a couple of thousand into it, and it became vaporware. It just, so don't think I get everything right here. Don't just follow the crypto. That, oh my God, let's just put everything in all his mentions, because I lost on Vapor and I lost on Agent S. I lost about 4K on Agent S. So I make mistakes too, so make sure you do your own research, but I'm just trying to let you know what I'm looking at, why, and what I'm thinking in this video. And I know it's fast paced for a lot of people. I'm going fast over here, just showing you this coin, that coin, that coin, this coin. It's okay, just take a look, make a note, get a paper and pen, make a note, and over time you can look into them and do your own research, okay? Then you can just ask me in the live stream if you want me to do a little bit more technical analysis on these coins and talk a little bit more about them. You can do that. I'm live every Sunday, 7 o'clock. So let's continue here. So hype is one to hold. Now, I do want to get into AI coins. So before we talk about these over here, just to put everything in perspective, let's go back to this favorite portfolio over here. Understand, Fetch.ai, I know people were making fun of me for holding this and buying more, but it is starting to move, and I do believe that ASI is an AI narrative, one of the best AI narratives in crypto. I've made videos why, I explained why. I know AI agents are getting a lot of the attention right now, but this would be a blue chip, in my opinion, should be part of your portfolio, and I never got out when other people did. I did take profits, like half of my profits out, but I bought back in. And I really think that ASI is going to do extremely well. Fetch, if you're looking for the ticker, by the way. And then you have AI16Z on Solana. And the reason, now I'm mentioning Solana for a few reasons you'll see in 1 second. But if you want to hold AI16Z, this is an AI agent play. And this is betting on AI agents on Solana. Okay, but as you're gonna see, there are other AI agent plays that are doing much better. You should be in. We're gonna talk about them in just 1 second. Just mentioning PAL over here before I forget, I think PAL is also a very good coin to hold over here. Now, let's go back to this other cryptos we're holding and let's talk a little bit. Now, remember I said AI16Z? I'm holding for Solana. I've been talking about Cookie for a long time on BNB, and I was saying once the bull market comes, AI agents, if they start going up, you want to have at least one AI agent in each major blockchain. And back then, months ago, more than months ago, I was talking about Cookie for Binance. And as you can see, Cookie is taking off, giving us an indication of what's coming this summer or after summer, right? And we'll talk about in a little bit, we'll talk about the two narratives I'm seeing, how we're gonna go up, just so you understand, so you're ready to know when to take profits, when not to take profits, because I am expecting a dump as well. I'm expecting a dump and then another leg up. So let's talk about that. And I'm also gonna tell you, depending on what we do, when the bull market's gonna end. So make sure you stay till the end of the video. And I'm also gonna throw in some secret coins from here on so that people can actually look into and maybe get in. So a bit of a degen play, if that makes sense. And look, so you have Cookie over here for BNB. Now, when it comes to Base, and I think Base is gonna do extremely well, you want to get into virtuals. I've been talking about virtuals forever. Look, virtuals is doing extremely well. We made massive bank on virtuals. We took profits at the end of the year into Bitcoin, but then we got back into virtuals. I was saying it's going to do well. And what virtuals did something that the other AI agent platforms didn't do. Consider virtuals a blue chip as well as Cookie is a blue chip for AI agents, if that makes sense. Because it's the platform coin. That's where you buy all the other AI agents. So it's the safe, let's say, blue chip to hold in the AI sector. Now, Base is also a narrative. It's by Coinbase. And now you have AI agents over here. You have Coinbase over here. It's called trend stacking. You're stacking trends, okay? So that's why I'm very into virtuals. Plus, they recently did something very innovative to stop. They actually stopped snipers and people taking advantage, launching coins and rug pulling. They made a point system. And here's the interesting part. You have the point system that lets you get in on Genesis launches, and they're all doing very well. Most of them are doing very well because of the system. They're the first to do it. They're very innovative, which made me get back in, and I actually made a reloaded video like the Matrix, virtuals reloaded, and I actually said they're gonna have a second wave, and they did. They just took off, right? So virtuals doing this point system, you have to, when you hold virtuals, just by holding it, you get points. Trading on virtuals, you get points, but also if you stake Vader. And that made me think, wait a minute, staking Vader gives you points? What am I missing here? So that's why I'm all in on virtuals. Didn't really get into other AI agents on base, maybe a little bit, there's a few I'm in, but I'm mostly in virtuals and Vader, because the connection there just made sense to me. So you have virtuals, which is your blue chip play on base with AI agents, and you're also holding Vader as your high-risk degen play. Does that make sense? Right? It makes perfect sense. So those are the ones I'm holding when it comes to AI agents. And there's a few more here and then, degen here, but those are my main ones. Now, that said, gaming's gonna make a comeback. We talked about gaming, and we're gonna talk about meme coins. We're gonna talk about gaming, meme coins, and also RWA. For RWA, it's easy. I'm just holding the main ones, okay? I'm just holding Link, and I'm holding Ondo. So if we come back here at my favorites, you should see it somewhere over here. Ondo should be somewhere hidden. Here it is. I'm holding Ondo. I think Ondo's gonna do very well at a discount right now. Might be a good time to buy, and I'm also holding Link. It probably has the most utility of every single coin. Nothing functions without it. It's an oracle. Oracles actually bring information outside of the blockchain, bring it into the blockchain, and they need that to function. Cryptocurrencies need that to function, but it also is working with Swift. They're doing so many different things. I don't know why the price is not moving, but Link, I do have Link. I'm holding Link. It's been disappointing up to now, but I'm not selling my position. I'm not telling you to bet the farm on it, but it's a good RWA play. Now, somebody might say, well, Paul, Tether is an RWA play as well, and that's not going up. It's kind of doing what Link's doing. And yes, Tether is the RWA because it's backed by real world assets. So it's actually theoretically RWA. So a little crypto joke there for you. You probably didn't laugh though. I tried. It doesn't matter. I digress. Let's move on, okay? So we have Ondo and we have Link. And let's talk a little bit about gaming. Now, Beam, I mentioned earlier on, it's both gaming and AI, so I am holding that. And I also hold Pixels as a standalone game. This can become the Minecraft. This could be the Axie Infinity of this bull run once gaming actually starts going up. So once gaming starts going up, I do think that Pixels is going to do extremely well. Now, you can be safe, you can hold some IMX, I get in and out of it, but I'm mostly in Beam, Pixels, couple of more plays I don't think I want to mention, not because I'm keeping it a secret, I just think these are extremely good and these are the ones you should be getting into. Later on, maybe we get into Metacade, we might get into different coins we've talked about in the past. I'll show you a couple later maybe, but these are my main ones. And yes, I am holding more, obviously. By the way, Super's another one you may want to hold. I think Super might do very well, although I've lost a little bit of hope, but I am keeping it. You know, Elio Waves, Elliot Waves, he actually works a lot with it. He's the owner of this, so I'm just holding this as a gaming play. I think Superverse will do well once gaming starts taking off. But let's talk a little bit about meme coins, because I know a lot of you guys want to talk memes. So these are the meme coins I am currently holding. I'm holding Doge as the king of memes. I think this is going to do very well and get to $1, maybe even to $2 by the end of this bull market. And if that sounds crazy to you, I was calling this at cents to 70 cents to $1, and we got there. But I think Doge is going to do very well. Fartcoin, I have it as a meme coin, but actually this is an AI coin. This has AI utility. I know that seems crazy, but it's actually gathering information for AI agents and doing different tests. So it actually has some AI element to it. So it's a meme coin plus AI, great trend stacking opportunity there in my opinion. So I'm actually holding some of that as well. I'm also holding SNEC. This is a Cardano play. I'm not holding any ADA, but I am holding SNEC over here. I would rather you would hold Pengu and Brett. Pengu, because I just see they're everywhere. They're doing a lot. They're in Walmarts. They're here. They're there. I saw them in Dubai 2049. They're everywhere. And Brett is a play on the base chain that I think is going to do very well. And yes, you can also hold Foxy. It's on the linear chain, but I think I said that's going to be a long-term play. But generally speaking, right now, these are the ones I'm looking at. I think they're going to outperform, at least in the beginning, so you might as well hold them. And the new coin I'm holding for a while now is Chill Guy, just a chill guy. This is a bit of a degen meme coin play. I'm not holding any obscure meme coins, any crazy meme coins. I think that it's very dangerous to hold those. But if we have a meme mania, this would set me up for good success, if that makes sense. So basically that's what I'm holding. Those are most of where I'm making my biggest bets, so to speak. Of course, most of my investments are in Bitcoin. Now let's talk a little bit about markets and what they might do when and how they might act, so you can react. Now I was supposed to put this in the beginning of the video, but I know you guys wanted to know the degen picks and the coins and this and that, so I left it to the end for those of you that are actually responsible. So if you're still watching the video, congrats. Like, I don't know. Not a lot of people are watching up to now, but congrats. Now let me give you some alpha. So first of all, okay, let's just get something straight out the way here. Let's just get something straight out the door. The markets can go up and down. We know that. We know they can go down. We know where they're going to go up. We're basing our thesis on if they go up. If the markets go up, what's the most likely outcome? How are they going to perform so we can take advantage and not get wrecked in the mid-fire, if that makes sense. Because what we're seeing is this. Either we're gonna go up fast now. In other words, we enter the banana zone now, which I don't think we are. I think we're gonna do it later on in the year. But if we actually enter the banana zone now, expect the bull market to end faster. Okay, expect it to end faster. You should be taking profits in the banana zone before the end of the year. If we get a big pump, but then dump, and we actually hold support, then we're waiting for another pump after the summer, towards the end of the summer or after the summer. And there, I believe that the Bitcoin top will come in towards the end of 2025, while altcoins will keep running till the beginning of 2026. But you still want to be taking profits towards the end of 2025. So you want to be taking profits. Make sure you take profits, because this is where things are going to end. And the markets have a way to wreck the most people available. So the markets have a way to get to a point where most noobs and pros get wrecked. That's how we called the last bottom of 15.6K. It was the amount where it would wreck all the pros calling for 12 to 10K, but also all the noobs that were calling for 20K. 15.6K was the sweet spot, and yes, we did call it, right? So you want to make sure you take profits on the way up. And I'm going to tell you a story about taking profits here, so you can understand it, because we're right at the end of the bull market. And I think it's really expensive. Well, this is the last year of the bull market. And look, a lot of you be, oh, Paul, it's going to be an extended cycle. This time it's different. BlackRock, this one. Yeah, okay, fine, maybe. Maybe it's an extended bull market. Fine, great. But until proven otherwise, I will treat this bull market like the 4-year cycle and stick to my thesis. If I'm taking profits and make a few $100,000, and I'm taking profits and I miss an extra $100,000 because it's an extended cycle, or if it keeps on going, I don't care. I'm taking profits. I will probably leave more in just in case, depending on what the charts are doing towards the end. But in most parts, 70-80% of my coins, I will take profits, and I will be taking profits into USDT, and I'll be taking profits into Bitcoin. I always hold Bitcoin anyway, and if there is a dump or if there is an extended play, holding Bitcoin gives me advantage to either buy the dip with Bitcoin or also to hold Bitcoin if we keep on going up. And if we keep on going up and the narrative is an extended bull market because of the Bitcoin, because of the Trump narrative and the BlackRock and this rock and that rock, believe me, Bitcoin's also gonna go up, and then I can use Bitcoin to also buy altcoins again. It doesn't matter. So I'm going on the 4-year cycle, and I'll be taking profits on the way up towards the end of the year. Now, and then we'll see what we'll do in 2026. If I have 20% left over, I'll play around with it before I exit completely or I completely go bust. It doesn't matter. I would have made my money. I would have made my profits. I would have made my Bitcoin, and I can live my life because I live off crypto for the next few years and actually buy in the bear market or towards the end of the bear market as we're coming out of the bear market. So let me tell you a little bit about taking profits, how important it is. And I want you to keep a story in mind. This is a very important story. If you heard this story before, hear it again. Hear it again, and comment down below if you heard me say this story before, and if you agree, and if it's actually changed your perspective on things. This is very important. And if you're new, listen to this story. It's not a long story, but it will teach you a lot. There was an old man. Once upon a time, there was an old man. And what he would do, how he would make money, was take turkeys, catch turkeys, and take them to the market and sell them. That was the way he lived. So what he did, he developed a trap. Now, I don't have a box here, but imagine this is a box, right? And imagine this is a box over here, and he developed like a trap with a trap door, and he had a stick. And if you and he put a string on the stick, so if he pulled the stick, the trapdoor would fall. Okay, so imagine you have a box. One side is open, a stick with a string, and then if you pull the string, the flap would close. Okay, they made a big box like that, and in there he put food for turkeys. Okay. So he started waiting for the turkeys to come in, and they started coming in. 1 turkey, 2 turkeys, 5 turkeys, 10 turkeys. He wanted to wait for 12 turkeys because that would have covered all his expenses, made massive amounts of profits. And what happened was 10 turkeys got in, and he was waiting for those last 2 turkeys. But as he was waiting for those last 2 turkeys, 1 turkey left. He got out. It's like, crap, 1 left. Now I have to wait. And then another one got out. It's like, crap, now I have to wait. But then 1 more got in. And it's like, okay, we have 1 more in. I'll just wait for 1 more. I'll just wait for 1 more. And 1 more got in again. It's like, great, okay, I have enough turkeys. I have 10 turkeys now. I'll just wait for 1 more. But then 1 got out. And another got out. And then 1 got back in, but then 2 got out. And he's like, holy crap, I should have pulled the string earlier. Now I only have 8 turkeys, I'm barely making profits. Then 2 got out. And now he has 6 turkeys. Now he's breaking even. I'm breaking even. Okay, as long as 1 more gets in, at least 1 more. And now 2 got out. And now he has like 3 or 4 turkeys in there. And as the food was going down, the turkeys was going out. But he was waiting because now he just wants to break even. That's how you get wrecked. The food finished, the turkeys got out, and he lost everything. The same thing when taking profits. Don't try and get the absolute top. Try and take profits on the way up. Don't wait for the absolute top. Take profits on the way up. So many people get wrecked. They made a 5x. Let's say you have $100 and you make $500, right? You have $500 in profit. Why would you wait for another $100, $200? Why would you even wait for another 2x? You already made 5x. You're risking 5x for 2x. And that's what's going to happen towards the end of the bear market. Don't do that. Just please don't do that, okay? Now, there are a lot. By the way, please do me a favor, like this video. Would really appreciate if you like this video. That's a like. This thumb. It's a like button. Look. Just click the like button, right? But do me a favor, listen to this, is very important. There's a lot of myths in crypto. There's a lot of myths that influencers and experts parrot, by the way. They talk about these and they're myths and they're keeping you poor. And a lot of times it's not your fault. It's really not your fault. You're just following these myths that seem logical. They seem so like common knowledge, like of course, it's common sense, but they're keeping you poor. For example, the best time to buy is in a bear market. No, it's not. It's as you're coming out of a bear market. Because the time you're in the bear market, anything can go wrong. You're looking up, you lock up opportunity cost, and basically you don't know what's going to go up, what trend's going to be, and you're just locking yourself up. You're supposed to do it as you're coming out of the bear market. If you were an XRP in the last cycle, and you were just buying the dips in the bear market, You missed an entire bull market and most of this one while everybody was making money and their mother was making money in other coins. You don't want to lock up your coins. Things can go wrong. CEOs could split up. Scams can happen. Rug pulls can happen. A lot of things. Technology gets obsolete. Anything can go wrong. The CEO might die. Touch wood. Why would you invest in a bear market? Invest as you're coming out of a bear market. And there are many different myths like that. Buying the dip. Okay, you buy the dip, you dollar cost averaging down. You're getting, till when? At some point, you're gonna buy the dip into a bear market. There's a lot of myths out there, and unfortunately, it's not your fault because they sound so logical. And they completely get you wrecked and keep you poor. So what I did, I created a free webinar. It's absolutely free. I'll leave the link in the description down below. I'll also leave it up here. Watch the webinar, sign up to the webinar. It busts 7 crypto myths. It's completely free. At the end of the webinar, I'll ask you if you want to join the product, if you want to buy a product. If you don't, no problem, don't. But watch the webinar. It's absolutely free. And if you don't want to do that for whatever reason, you have your own reason, and you want to see what kind of tips this webinar will have in it before you make up your mind to click to go to that webinar and give me your email address, no problem. Check out this video right here. It busts one of the most common myths. You really don't want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe. Check out the video, and I'll see you in the next one.